Last time on session 19, you found the answer, and the answer was plate. Um, more or less. It was late on the first day of the month of Fall Feather, which is the 13th month of the year, 697. And you spend some time investigating and resting, kind of new arrangements, goals. Setch meets with some human contacts in the fifth house to kind of figure out the mutations arising throughout the city. Strike begins some construction on a composite bow. Birdman tries to find means to get Drek's axe from the stage court prisons, but isn't successful, unfortunately. And Eros tries to connect with the ancient tortoise man artifact. More or less informs her to come before him. It is then there's an earthquake that hits the city pretty hard, just south of the Beast Keep, that is near kind of central west of the city. Part of the southern wall of the keep falls into these badly tunneled sewers that the 12th house has created with their new ventures. And the group, most of you are asleep from what happened the session before, uh, more or less decide to take action and investigate because there's lots of hubbub and noise from the populace. Birdman first travels to the south, followed by Strike and Setch, and they go into prospective tunnels. Setch and Strike go to the north. Birdman waits a little behind and then goes through the sewer system to like the southeast to find this hidden lair of the 12th house drow. Seeing undead and sensing a demon down below, he decides going in further alone would be a bad idea. Eros then is in a frenzy of artistry, paint, performance, makes a mural of the future in their high state. One of the artifacts, the tortoise man thing, laying the city to waste in flames and destruction, or the beast, or whatnot. I can't exactly remember. At the end of this investigation, nearing the midnight hour, there's another earthquake just east of the first, much larger, and a young adult Tarask rises from this calamity. It forces your group to, right as they were done investigating and getting ready to rest, to basically rise up again. Is what you guys, most of you, chose to do. While the young adult Tarask kind of lays waste to a portion of the Tailstones, many people are hurt and die, and guards as well. A lot of slaughter, literally. But you guys are eventually able to stop the beast as it gets trapped in a building and kind of hold it there long enough to take it out. Meanwhile, Eros goes below to practice her new routine and connect with. There was some commotion with Mistra in between there and trying to sell Altipar's soul to Mistra. But you eventually go down and they were able to connect with Cash. He introduces himself as this artifact, and you climb inside his belly, as best I can remember. We're going to pick up with two scenes that happen relatively right after that, and then we'll go to a long rest relatively soon thereafter. But one scene that needs handled first is Hmm. Do we want to go to Eros or do we want to go to Strength? There's two things we need to do. What do we want to go to first? I can't decide.
The
Someone
girl in
roll
the
a dice.
the girl in the suit or the Badger Man with one sanity?
Hmm. Let me roll a dice.
Ladies first.
There we go. Okay. So, um, Eros.
Mm.
Um, as you climb inside the belly of this thing, it is somewhat biological. Like it is metal and stone, but there is the way it's connected. There is an organic nature to it. That is a little gross. It's old, it's worn away and whatnot. But you climb like 5 feet, and then there is another opening above you that is this. What's the word? Like sarcophagus almost. That's what your brain would go to, because I don't know if the word cockpit like exists in this world. Um, but that's kind of what your brain goes to in a way. Do you climb up inside?
Oh, I'm getting deep inside of this hole.
Thank you. With your con save from last time, you take 23 necrotic damage as you climb up and situate yourself in there along your spine and into your elbows and legs. These like angry suction cup things grab onto you, and it's painful. Um, and you have a level of exhaustion from this as well. Other than that, you're fine.
My HP's at 69. Of course I'm fine.
Well, there we go. Uh,
Nice.
the That's the exhaustion. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So as you climb up and connect inside to this thing, you start to be able to. You're not exactly sure how you can, but you like can see outside of the creation. And you can see the couple drow have run closer. Others have ran into the room. Behind you, Shallow Butter's just sitting there, astonished, not exactly sure what to do in the brief moment. Care Halls kind of runs back, gets out of the way. Uh, there's the other guards from around the room are like kind of circling you. They're grabbing their heaviest weapons. They're not exactly sure how to take this. You get the impression they weren't exactly expecting this to happen right now, um, or it to escalate so quickly. Uh, Eros, what would you like to do?
Uh, hmm. Do I have a sense that I can move?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna scratch my ass as the robot.
Okay.
I'm going to, and then with my other hand, check my stomach to see if that hole is still there.
Um, it is there as the picture shows, but it is like closed up, like a belly button.
Ah. So she just starts like with one of the fingers, just puts it in the belly button, just starts feeling around it. And then she's going to uh kind of assume a stance and is going to attempt to pee standing up.
I would like you to roll me a D100, please. Okay.
That's kind of a week.
Okay. All right. Some valve or something pops and he releases some black oily liquid that you're not exactly sure what it is to mimic this action you're telling it to do. You generally get the impression this it needs to do this, but it didn't have to do this right now. It's not like urination. um I would like you to roll me an insight check for two reasons. The drow and also uh what you may understand at this point. Um Now that you're inside this thing, you get the impression Cash is still there. Yes, but you are the brain, so to speak. Like
I
it's
am the
yeah.
brain.
You also get the impression um you can move and it's all you're very strong. You can feel the weight behind these movements. Like you feel like you're this giant creature right now. You don't feel like you're you. So,
Oh,
if that makes sense. And then with the 21, you also sense the drow. Do you speak Undercommon? I can't remember.
no.
Okay. They are Shallow Butter's kind of out of her shock, and they're encouraging her to do something about this. You generally get the impression they do not like this current situation, and they want you out of there. And then you hear Shallow Butter when you cast that spell. And your hands as the robot do the somatic components. Like you hear your mouth inside the creature just echo, and you say it, but your hands do the somatic components. Um, and then the Shallow Butter's just like, yes, yes, okay, okay. We don't let's before we tell the matron, let's make sure. Um, and then in common, Eros, are you alive?
Arrows will start shuffling and doing the hammer dance.
Shuffle forward. Yeah. Okay. Then it was a success. Are you able to come out of there? We would like to um make sure it can be reversed.
Mm, let's see. Testing. Is this a speaker? Is this like is this like a spell? Does my voice come out of this? Or am I silent to a world that doesn't know I exist now?
They have good ears because they're elves, so they hear the muffle and the Shallow Butter turns her head to listen in. It's kind of you don't have means to just yell and speak out of this thing. Like it's like you are muffled inside of a car and someone's outside listening, sort of.
Hmm.
So they kind of hear what you say is like, okay, um, we need you to come out of there, if you would, please. We are glad you've learned the dance. Now we can uh see how it applies elsewhere. Um and then she turns back and in comprehend languages and undercommon. This guy steps forward and he is like, we need to get the matron. That's the only way this is going to work. And they kind of turn and the couple guys start to run out the room. Uh and Eros, what do you do?
Hmm. I'm gonna try to fly in the machine. I don't have the fly spell. I'm just gonna be like, do that jumping thing and just like
Okay.
see what happens.
Give me a sec. Look up. You trying to do a long jump or a high jump?
And as
Sounds
big
like
as
a high jump to me.
as much of a jump as if actually trying to fly. So as high as possible.
Okay. Um, just as you are with no additional help, you are able to jump like 5, 6 feet in the air and kind of crash into here. And the others kind of shimmy away and are like shit, 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 like in common and undercommon. And you get the impression you weigh a fuck, and you cannot fly.
Eros is going to, utilizing the robot, is going to drop down to all fours, like on her knees, and is going to do that. That scene in the original Planet of the Apes when he finds out that he's back on Earth and is like, "Damn you all!" and is like pounding his fist on the ground on the sand.
Yes.
That. So she's just pounding on the ground over and over, just having a tantrum via the robot.
That's so much property damage.
Every now and
Yep.
then, like raising her body up as and like doing that shoulder that thing you do with your shoulders when you're seeing a tantrum, they just go up and down, pouting and type of thing.
All right.
Uh-oh.
I would like you to roll initiative.
We
And okay. Um,
Baby wants his bottle. It's not my fault, I
and
swear.
if this doesn't work in the first couple, I'll change to something else. Okay. She's going to. I need a DC 16 wisdom saving throw from Arrows.
Uh,
And you are charmed and
Wait.
have a telepathic link
I need to look at something. Nope, never mind. Never mind.
with this one. And that's Nefertiri. And she tells you to stop pouting, sit down, and get out of the thing now before you hurt yourself. And this thing it continues to stomp and on the ground, and we get to your turn, Eros. You are dominated, which you're stuck this way for the next hour until you take some damage or something that from an outside source. So she wants you to stop what you're doing and get out of the thing now.
Okay.
So
Then I stop, but I don't know how to get out. So
okay. Um, I would like you to roll a con save.
+3 for the win.
You have this thought in your head, and it just kind of um poops you out, basically, and it's painful. But after everything you've already been through today, it's just kind of like one more pile of shit on top of the thing. Seeing that happen, this guy runs over and is going to above you. He readies a shocking grasp in his hand and points at you. It's like, do you submit?
I like
And
crayons.
lady lady Nefertiri says she's probably all right. You can relax now. Just pick her up. And they grab you and kind of heft you away from the thing. And she goes over and she's like, fuck, she cracked the crystal. And then kind of follows you out of the room. Eros, get 4 inspiration. Um, as we're gonna step away from you for a little while. As there's gonna be some hours that go by while we're not quite sure where Eros is.
Woohoo!
Uh, uh, for these things. Uh, we're gonna jump to strike after felling the beast. What do you spend your time doing? You made mention last session about crafting. Is that what you immediately start to do? Is harvest Tarask pieces and fight over those with the other god butchers? Or what?
First course of action was to search for any survivors in the rubble.
Okay. Um then let's imagine you've been doing that for 30 minutes. You've found a half dozen people and nearly quadruple that many dead, crushed or whatnot during the carnage of this earthquake. And you're helping pull out and stack bodies, and there's already a process of burning so undead don't rise. And you hear a noise of a young creature of some sort, made some sort of pain or whimper, trapped or something by the sound of it. You run around this piece of rubble, lift up a door, kick it aside, grab this other chunk of stone, and throw it over. And you find a little humanoid, human elf descent of some sort. You're not exactly sure. And you freeze. Your brain travels back to a memory that, for some reason, after everything that's gone through today, you connect to. And it has to do with one of your 5 orphans, in a similar way. You found them in a similar position of this, someone that was kind of left with some chunk of something on top of them, and this just sears back in your memory. Which of these orphans was it?
It's a very good question. I want to say Leandro.
Which one again? I'm sorry.
Leandro.
Leandra. Okay.
That would make
Leandra.
sense in my from what I have imagined before.
You lose yourself in this memory because when you found Leandra, there was a scuffle that happened over kind of her being claimed by someone as like food or something, basically. She's they thought she was dead. You found out she wasn't. You're trying, and there was a scuffle that arised in that, and you get wrapped up so much in that memory that you are jogged out by the muffled kind of whimpers of this little child, as it's like you grabbed onto her gruffly in the moment when you got separated into this story of fending off these other kind of Animaesus that were just hungry and starving, seeing something that was left behind that had some meat on the bones, and they there's her whimpers bringing you out, startle you, and there's a couple wolves that kind of see this and kind of pressure you to like move on from the area, and you have struggling feelings with how you connect even with this at the same time. um in that, because your sanity has fallen to the place that it is, Strike, you have an uncaring nature about things. And I'm gonna send you a quote that will stick with you until you're able to get to 10 sanity again.
Oh,
With how your role play will be affected based upon this. And the only person that is not connected to this, based upon the story you've shared with us, is Leandra. Leandra's the only one that isn't affected by this. Everyone else will have issues. Well, you can decide how you want to display this. So I have to remember, because you changed your name, like which one you were.
rotund feline.
So this is what we call an indefinite madness. Player knowledge, you can get rid of this through magical means if you can figure out how to, other than the sanity requirements. There's a way around this if you do some investigation for it. But I don't know if Strike will think that far. Now you can always gain sanity back by other means that we've discussed. So if you spend time with Leandra, it will help you gain it back more quickly.
And I'd imagine that after all of this turmoil, Strike probably going through all the stages of grief simultaneously, time and time again, looking for anyone who might still be alive. He suddenly just go completely stone-faced as he's taken back to reality and simply walk away from the scene.
Yeah.
Not giving a shit about anything anymore.
Mel and Birdman, which I imagine would be around in some way, shape, or form during this, would see him furiously engaged with trying to save people's life, and then just after uncovering many bodies like you all have through the carnage of this, you see strike late into the morning. This is probably 2 or 3 into the morning. Just start to walk away.
Hmm.
The rest of you, now that we've done those 2 scenes, you can let me know when you're ready to go to your long rest, or if there's anything you would like to do in this wee hour of the morning.
There is one thing. I was running away, I think, last time, because I was like, oh, what a perfect time to go nab an axe. Would be right about now. While all of this weird distraction shit is going on.
No, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Did we see Birdman also?
No. I don't think I ever
No.
my-
With the way he rolled his stealth with his camouflage and everything, what happened last time, neither of you really became aware of each other. Without directly saying otherwise. So Birdman, I would like a stealth and then a perception check from you. And
What the hell? You said a stealth and then a perception check?
Yes.
Where's my stealth?
Alright, you're cool.
My perception. Does the perception add the bonus to it? The ranger bonus?
We'll say sure because you know this part of the city very well, that you'll have like a better angle, we'll say.
So that's a 24.
Okay, you didn't really need it, but that's cool.
Didn't really
Nonetheless, you see in the street alleyway sort of setup that leads down into the stage prisons, you went up on like this 4th floor level out on this balcony to like get this look in before to see how many of the guards left to go engage with the Tarrasque that came up, and you're immediately surprised to not see very many, but then you get a better look and you really take an extra moment to look, and they're just bodies on the ground. And it's unrelated to Tarrasque carnage, but then there's a couple other guys that like rise up from being knelt over or knocked over, and there's this wolf and a couple dwarves, and the wolf says something. You're really far away, you can't really hear what they're saying, but he says something to the 2 dwarves, and they pick up this blonde-haired woman. Roll me an insight check.
God damn it.
And it's Talaria.
Jesus Christ.
And then you get the impression you arrive like moments after the end of this, also with that insight check, like moments after that, they just had finished running her through and killing her.
Oh.
And you then see a dwarf off to the other side. The armor, you're pretty sure it was her friend Drek that came in with the city. They themselves killed almost a dozen dwarves and wolves, it seems. But we're not expecting there to be this many guards here, apparently. And we're overwhelmed.
So they're like roasted now? Like they're
They're taking their bodies to a pile to burn them.
Oh shit.
Like so they don't turn into undead.
So they are dead.
They've been stabbed multiple times.
Interesting.
So mission failed.
Well, they failed. I'm not gonna fail. I'm gonna go find that fucking X.
How do you go about this?
I think of the last place it could have been. I start there, I think.
Okay.
Maybe the last
As of right, I'll say at that insight check. As of right now, you're pretty sure the axe is still in the prison.
Okay, sick.
So the issue there's two issues. There are the remaining guards still out here, obviously on high alert. There's only a handful because Talaria and Drek killed quite a significant amount of them.
Okay.
Outside, that's issue number one. Issue number two, it's kind of the way this is designed in the city. It's kind of like a long stretch of like street that you have to walk down to get to the stairs, so they have enough time to prepare for anyone coming at them. So you have two issues in front of you to get past if you don't want to be seen.
Right.
So one is a stealth check, and two is being super fast, I imagine, in some ways, which I know you can do in a certain way, but like how it's going to be some initiative. We're going to do initiative just to see if there's a surprise round or not.
Sick.
So
Really?
if you're running or going to the prisons.
I think
The like maybe third option, the city, is you could climb around and whatnot, but there's not an easy way into the prisons that way. Like it would have to be, you'd have to enter. You could technically enter, I guess, through your job, but then you're compromising your position a little bit if you're caught that way.
I mean, I guess I could just make it about my job. I can just be like, "Hey, man, I heard that there was supposed to be I heard there were supposed to be people here to steal some evidence, and I can't have that. I'm supposed to be getting that back right now. So I
Okay.
will. I guess that's my approach of it. I don't really want to be sneaky, especially since the last people that I'm sure tried to be sneaky are now going to get thrown into a pile.
No, they fucked up.
Yeah.
I was like, but that I don't know. There were you guys had two opportunities last session to help them and it didn't happen. So I was like, okay, there you go.
Sorry, I kind of went into a frenzy.
Yeah, it happens. Okay. I would okay, so using your job, it's basically more time because you have to go around to the other entrance and do all the official like entrance things and all that stuff. So there's more time between you and there. I would like a investigation check to see how long it takes you to get through the process. Okay. So you go through the front door, you do your normal check-in, you have to talk to the guard, the secondary guard. You have to come in and sign the paperwork to explain what you're coming in for and the reasons why. You make up some sort of bullshit. You go to your office, you're handed different paperwork and stuff that's like come in. You notice two or three of these papers have something to do with some new clients, one from the 10th house and one from the 9th house.
Say
You
what?
kind of brush those off for the
Didn't-
briefest moment,
Yeah.
unless you want to read them, but they'll take you a while to read.
For those. Cool.
And I think my sound cut up. What did you say?
I said I'll come back for those.
Okay. And then it's like you go down a couple hallways to this flight of steps that lead down in a spiral that's like there's two check-in points that you have to use official paperwork to go through. I would now like a deception check to represent your success of this,
Oh
of
boy.
getting past the guards as this. And I will give you an inspiration point for taking the harder route.
Hey. You know what? I'll use it. I might as well. Why not?
Okay, well, there we go. All right. I'm gonna put you on a map now.
Nice.
And I'll put everyone else on this map too. We've seen this map before. And then I'm gonna move Birdman to a place. Just give me 1 second. All right, so Birdman, you I like that idea. All right, you come in, and your passive perception lets you know that there's other guards and stuff, and then other prisoners. One of the drow comes up to you and asks you what you're doing, and before you have a chance to respond, there is a smaller ferret man leading another drow, and this drow in his arms, it wrapped in like this burlap cloth, has an axe.
Hmm. Is it an axe that I seem to be looking for?
Your gut is just like this is you've got here just at the right time thing. Like it's one of those things they're about to leave the room with the axe. Is what you're pretty much
Oh,
assuming
shit.
here.
So I'm like, acquisition. I'm like, evidence acquisition. I like showed them like the paperwork. Like I'm here to relinquish you of a certain axe. I'm here to relinquish you of a certain I believe it was like an obsidian axe, like a black axe.
The drow look to each other and then look to the Patori, tiny beneath them, and he skitters up in front of you and points towards you. Let bring the paperwork down. Let me see.
I give it to him. I'm like, I'm the Birdman. It's me, the Birdman. I don't know if we've met before. I'm sure I've met this man before. Maybe.
You know what I just realized? This character can't beat a 22.
Oh.
You rolled just 1 point higher. You only can beat a 21. So he looks at it. Where is it being taken? I sense a powerful aura of destruction from this. What house are you associated with?
10. Sheila looks up. He's like 10. 10th house.
The 10th house.
10th house.
Gosh.
Yeah. 10th house investigation. Evidence recurral. I just have to like do some processing on it. I have to look at it.
I would like another deception check. He's still gonna give it to you, but this is like whether or not he investigates you after the fact.
Right. I just have to do some processing with it.
Okay, I can't beat a 24. So.
Well,
Uh,
I imagine the 24 makes a lot of sense. It's gonna be hard to investigate because the dude that this axe came into the city with is dead. He's no longer going to be able to be found in about 20 minutes.
He's unalived.
He's about to be burned at the stake.
okay, so
10th house investigation.
10th house evidence recurral. I have to take it and file some paperwork on it. I have to,
I take file
I have a
paperwork.
client who is looking for it.
Client looking
legally.
for.
all right. Well, they're confused and extremely apprehensive, but everything looks legit. The paperwork's in order. It's a sign from a binder lord. You like forged his fucking signature or copied it from another paperwork for the thing. Like the paperwork from up above, you realize was from Pio. So you're like, huh. You're just gonna use it, and it's like, okay. Pio's asking for you to do something for him as a lawyer.
This is why you always get your own lawyer.
So
Oh man, I'm gonna get the
as you're leaving with the axe, you can put the Vorpal battle axe, I'm sorry, in your inventory.
I put it in the briefcase. Like that's the first place it goes. Is like, okay.
As you're leaving, I would like one more performance or deception check to see if they pick up on your reaction to them throwing Talaria's body into the pyre. And then I would like a sanity check.
Well, there's my deception check.
Can you
Not-
reroll that?
I can reroll it. Yeah. I will do that. It's probably gonna be worse though. Oh, it's fine.
Oh,
Oh shit. It's
Okay.
really-
Well, you beat their passive insights, so they don't pick up on that. And then I would like a sanity check.
Oh no.
everything's coming up, Birdman.
I don't know.
Uh,
If anything's coming up, Birdman.
Birdman.
I just failed that. But not
You
by a
just
lot.
failed that.
Aw.
No.
I like barely failed that.
Okay. You lose 0 sanity
Oh, very
because
nice.
of the modifier, but nonetheless, it is
Hurts me a bit inside to see her just.
your insight from before, from the whole situation and how this has played out, what you saw. You have kind of a bad feeling about this. And you're not sure if it's related to Talaria or the dwarf or the whole situation with the axe. You just have a bad feeling with how this has turned out.
Yeah, this went real bad real quick, huh?
So,
Ugh.
you can leave at your leisure, though.
I
They
leave
pay
at
you
my
little
leisure.
mind. You have the axe. They don't seem to care that it's like in your it's in your briefcase now. Never mind. They don't even see it. They just see a briefcase. You just walk out. Okay, so as a ranger, I do believe you can wield this weapon. So it's up to you whether or not you attune to it. But you do you. Because it is a martial weapon. I think you're proficient in martial weapons as
Yes,
a
but I
ranger.
do not
Yes.
think I have. It's a great axe, yeah.
No, it's a battle axe.
Oh, it's a battle axe. Oh shit! I thought it was a great
So
axe.
you can use it one hand or two hand.
Okay, good. I was like, damn.
But yeah, it is strength based.
I was like, yeah. If it's a great axe, I don't even think I have a strength. I don't even have the strength requirement to use it. I have a negative strength, so using it's probably a bad.
Well, ironically, only in fifth edition, only armor has the strength requirement. So technically, you could still use a great axe. It's just you would suffer on the modifiers of damage with your current strength. Nonetheless,
Strike's gonna have a lot.
it is a just at base, it is a +3 weapon.
Holy shit.
At
Give that
its
to the
base.
badger.
Yeah, we're giving that to the badger. We're giving that to the Structo badger.
I think I'm actually doing better with my claws.
Dude, this is a +3 Vorpal axe.
Okay, let me read the full thing because you're eventually attuned to it. Okay. And
Oh,
it just
not
gets
with
the way-
claws.
Vorpals are ridiculous. Or it can be okay. You also ignore slashing resistance if they have any, while you wield it, and if you get a 20 on the attack roll, not a crit, just a 20 on the dice roll, because some people crit on different numbers. You cut off one of the heads of the creature. If the creature dies, if it can't survive without its head.
It's an instant death.
A
Oh,
creature immune to this effect. A creature is immune to this effect if it's immune to slashing damage.
which-
Doesn't need a head. Has legendary actions, or the DM decides that the creature is too big for its head to be cut off with this weapon.
Hold on a second. I was saying that anything 20 or above is an automatic decapitation.
You have to get a 20 on the dice. The dice has to land on a 20. So it is a crit, basically.
Okay, but you do realize
Okay.
how dangerous it is to give this weapon to strike in its current state, yes?
Yes, I understand.
We'll talk
That
about it.
there's consequences to every action. There you
It's
go.
gonna
Also, but okay, so if it's a creature that can't have its head cut off or one of the above, it does do an extra 68 slashing damage on the crit.
Jesus Christ.
So you roll 68. You don't get the automatic, but that's still a shit ton of extra. That's like an extra 30, 40 damage on average.
That's if it does. That's if it doesn't die, right? Like
That's if it doesn't die.
decapitated.
And so, I have free liberty to decide if it, I don't want the thing to lose its head. So, which I've done before in the past. But like,
And I
no,
do wield it with my claw still.
If we kill it with a nasty crit, it's gotta have its head get cut off.
that's just part of it. So, it's a very powerful weapon. It is technically legendary. There's a reason why it's in the game. We'll see
Yeah.
if it comes up.
We're gonna give it. We're gonna try to give it to the Badger Man, but I'm probably gonna have to hold off on it for a minute because I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna see that Strike is not in the headspace to have a nice decapitating magic axe.
No, probably not a good idea.
No, so we'll see how that goes. I might trade it to Mel for the bird bong back. Who knows? We'll see.
Never gonna happen.
I have a giant fighting robot now. So
Oh shit! We'll give the giant fighting robot the world battle axe.
it uses it like a fucking
Yes.
toothpick.
I could see that. Or based upon previous description, it uses it to clean its backside.
Back scratcher! Butt scratcher!
Okay, well, yeah. By the time you're done with this situation and heading back home, it's close to 3:34 in the morning, Birdman. So you're gonna be asleep most of the day, or very fucking tired, depending on how you want to do that. But
A lot happened to me today.
the rest of you, Mel, is there anything you do with your rest of your day, or you go get some rest as best as you can, or?
I think Mel would start her search for a new place to live.
Okay. Are you
Look for a construction site.
are you
Start on.
are you looking for something officially that you're going to purchase, or something you're just gonna kind of take and say this is mine? Or are you going to build it from scratch?
Most likely, she wants to find some sort of natural construction, like a cave system or something, but preferably something like on a lower level than the tunnels that are already beneath the city. She wants to find like a naturally occurring cavern or something like that she can convert.
So you're going slightly into the Underdark.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have Underdark as a favorite terrain?
I believe so.
Okay. Then the Natural Explorer I think gives you advantage. Okay. How close do you want to stay to the city? Like within feet, miles? How do you want to measure this? Because the Underdark, you already know from your basic survival knowledge, is very expansive in this part of the world. So it's like the first 100, 200 feet is kind of city bedrock with some sewer tunnels and whatnot, and then there's a couple places that it connects to just be this giant cavern system that you could get lost in. So it's hot, but that's also like more travel time, I guess, is what I'll put.
I think she would be looking for something that would be like close enough range to where she could hire an enchanter to create some sort of magical device for short range teleportation where she could get there and back quickly.
You want someone to make
Basically,
a magic circle.
yeah.
Okay. Teleportation circle. Okay. Roll me a survival check. I think you have advantage because you're Underdark thingy.
19.
Uh,
I
Okay.
think I will use. Can I use an inspiration to try and roll again?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. You find it probably takes you a good hour, 2 hours after you get underneath a couple hundred feet underneath the city. So maybe like closer to 3 hours or so of like traveling out of the city,
Mhm.
to locate a cavern system that is stable enough, has access points that are convenient enough, and also is close enough to the city to where you're not going to have to worry about this wizard that you're going to try to hire to do this um complaining and or just charging you an exorbitant amount for things. The cavern is, what's the word? I'm just going to go back to the word stable enough. Is stable to, with the role you found. You get the impression that um with time this is something that could hold uh quite a bit of area if you wanted to expand it beyond. But it is something that's going to take a lot of time. Uh, Maybe hiring some independent dwarves from outside the city to help dig might not be such a bad idea, or some Animaesus. That there's a bunch of weaselkin and badgerkin that live outside the city. Um, so there's a mechanic I've used before that we're gonna kind of use here. Um, this is uh has the equivalent of, there's a building space mechanic from this supplement I've used before. A building space is a 20 by 20 by 10 foot area. 20
Mhm.
foot, 20 foot room with 10 foot ceiling. Um, you in this cavern, you see with your survival check, you could have upwards of 8 to 10 different building spaces you could tier in
Oh,
here and hide. But which is the equivalent of like a small mansion,
yeah.
more or less. To get started, though, it will take to level everything out and get it situated. It'll take 100 gold, maybe two, depending on the workers you find to, uh, and the tools you would need if you want to do it yourself.
Mhm.
To kind of get started with the first building space, and each building space would takes about 100 gold or so to like make ready for whatever you're going to
Right.
do on top of that. And then depending on how you go about it, will determine how much it costs, like what you want to make each space kind of devoted to. Um, Somewhere, if you just need a storage room, it's only going to probably be a couple $100 to like a couple 100 gold to set up everything. So versus like, hey, you want a fancy bathroom? Okay, we're gonna get into like the tens of twenties of $1,000 if you want all that porcelain gilded frames.
Right.
But My Sunday group that I used to play with, they spent a lot of time making this house. We spent so much time, so you do you if you want to explore that. So that would probably be most of your evening, probably traveling there and exploring the cave and measuring things out and maybe even doing some sketches and things like that and plans of things before the sun starts to rise the next morning.
Okay.
The next day will come. You guys, Birdman. It's up to you how late you sleep in. You do need your full 8 hours. You didn't end up getting back home until pretty late. Strike. Uh, Similar idea, sort of situation. Eros, you get a long rest because of uh, you're kind of forced to go to sleep basically with magic eventually.
I think Arrows would just pass out on her own, though. To be
Yeah.
fair.
Okay. So Strike and Birdman, and Mel, you three. I guess how late do you stay up? When do you go to bed? And how long do you sleep? Like for your long rest? Like when do you wake up the next day? Because you guys have had a long 24 hours prior.
Wake up about
Strag and Mel just kind of thought of fucking to rest. They're probably gonna need a lot of sleep. Or rest.
But how
Well,
much?
Mel has a cave to hang like a bat in now, so
not the bat cave.
The bad cave, dude. Mel
the
is
Batman.
Batman.
So I love how all the characters, other than Eros, are sort of different interpretations of Batman.
Are you sure I'm not
Hey,
an interpretation of
Eros,
Batman?
I think
No, I said
is an
everyone other than
interpretation.
Eros. Other than
Nah.
Eros.
Eros is kind of like our Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I think Eros is also Batman.
Tragic. Let's like tragic backstory as a child. Parents died.
Yep.
Ends up becoming a playboy. I
Yep.
think it
Yep.
fits.
Playboy.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, yeah, you're right. You're right. No one.
Eros is the Batman that's in the Lego movies.
Eros is, Eros is definitely Bruce Wayne.
I could see the Lego Batman too. He's goofy.
Yeah,
He's goofy.
first
Very-
try.
Kind of ironic. He went out because he was depressed with the way of his people, and now he kind of turns out the same way.
Mhm, mhm.
That. Not all of
Okay.
us being Batman. How is
Well,
that?
you guys can
Well, Batman.
tell me when you wake up and handle the scene as you mean. What do you guys want to do the next day? When do you wake up? We're kind of in downtime at this point. Eros, you would wake up in your bed with Shallow Butter sitting in a chair in your room,
Oh, fuck.
like watching you.
In
and
the drow place or
no, in your room, in your
in
apartment.
our actual apartment.
Mhm.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Roxana would be there.
Roxana.
Because I didn't take her with me.
No, Roxana would be there, yes. And it's that immediate, like Roxana's looking at Shallow Butter, wishing she could kill her kind of look. Because she doesn't know what happened. You're just brought back unconscious and bruised and covered in paint and naked and just, don't know what's going on. You feel like the day you had yesterday. You feel like, a flapjack that got run over a couple times by a car.
Brutal.
I think Eros would just
I
be
love
like.
that analogy.
I think Eros would just like kind of lean up from her bed and would just kind of be like, huh. But then treat everything that happened as just a confused dream and just not even mention it. She would just get out of bed, go straight to the kitchen, and start cooking breakfast.
Soup.
Well,
Maybe soup.
if you wake up, I'm there. I don't know what time you wake up though. Like unless it's like hella early in the morning.
It's probably midday by now.
Like yeah, like midday, like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm probably awake. Like I
well,
probably woke up like a
everything
couple
happened at
hours.
like 3 o'clock at night, right?
Mhm.
The Tarask attacked at about 12:30, and then with you guys dealt with that, and then everything after. Yeah, Arrows, you have no idea when you got home
Yeah, so
at all.
probably like 12, like actual midday.
Yeah.
So I that's like 8 hours for me. I'd probably be up like at 12:30, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Are you like at the table
Mm-hmm.
playing cards?
I'm probably actually like reading like my paperwork, like my shit from like my job.
Oh, the stuff you brought home from yesterday.
Yeah, because I probably got like I probably had like a whole stack worth of paper because I haven't done my job in like 4 days for like 2 weeks
Yeah.
because of the festival. I haven't done any of my job.
Um,
Hmm.
you have 2 new cases that are being brought to you because you've been specifically requested.
One of them is from Pio, right? One of them
Pio is he's being put on trial for some associations with Altapar and things. There's an issue going on with that. And then there is another request by the 9th house to look into a representative of the 2nd house for a possible, you get the impression for them to press charges or sue them or something like that.
very nice.
The you also, I think this next day in your mailbox or through your door, slide in under your door, waiting for you, addressed to you, Birdman, would be a letter from Pio kind of explaining more his point of view, which they're trying to use the evidence that they gave him to make him take the blame to get the pressure off of the 12th house. He has some information about the 12th house that he needs the other houses to understand, and he also, a friend at the 9th house of his is the other job. You get the impression too, like he's using you to play middleman between him and the 9th house without people knowing that he's between the 9th house.
Because I'm a very sneaky man, sneaky lawyer like that. That's interesting.
And the general, he also is like, Setch is there and has your back for anything. Use his skills to assist with this investigation.
Who is
He can,
affiliated with the 9th house in our group? Is it Mel that's affiliated with the 9th house?
Mel has a connection in the 9th house as one of the stronger connections she started with, but Mel's sort of neutral between the houses.
Like, because I'm a 10th house lawyer. Like, everyone knows that. It's
Yeah.
like, so if a 10th house lawyer is poking around, there's some shady shit going on. I imagine. They're probably like, oh,
Um,
I don't think has Mel made it clear to everyone else though that she's firmly situated with the ninth house. Though?
Birdman has Phineas Shadow Blossom from the 9th house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I met you. I
Like
Oh yeah.
I think party perspective is they know you're connected. They don't know that you're like
In it.
pretty.
I don't even
Like Mel by age of Mel by age of what Mel is and what they are, Mel is almost a founding member of the Ninth House.
well, yeah,
Is like second generation, second or third generation in the Ninth House.
I
Like
can
has
also put
been
that together based on our history.
yeah, like some of the furniture and things you saw at her house are like things from the teapot I think he said was like 150 years old or something.
Yeah.
So it's like uh you know
So, oh shit. All right. Well, so I'm just sitting at the kitchen table, like reading a bunch of letters and looking over paperwork and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
She passes you and like pats you on the head. Hi, Birdman.
Hello.
What sounds like a good
Oops.
breakfast?
Pain.
Pain. Suffering.
Cereal without milk.
Okay. Tarrasque meat it is then.
Life is meaningless. Nothing matters.
This is very existential. I don't know how to feel about it.
Got
Mm,
the axe.
you got the axe?
I got the axe.
Remind me again what you mean by that?
I got the axe. He
The
just keeps saying it
axe.
over and over again.
I
You and does the finger quotes. I got the axe.
we are mentally connected for 5 hours.
Okay. He says that thing that Talaria was talking about, the axe.
Oh, that Vapple axe. Vertal, Vadal, Vital. Vorpal,
Vorpal.
Vorpal. Yes.
Yes.
She'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Images of Talaria's body go in your head.
Yeah.
Being thrown into a fire pit.
Eros, like, just sighs as she freezes for a moment and then just gives way to a sigh and just shakes her head, saying, honestly, at this point, I can't be surprised anymore.
Jesus, we're all just growing more desynthesized, don't we?
Eros, I would like a sanity check.
Yes, pass the guilt to my friends. Yes.
You pass, you're fine.
Look, we didn't help her. She wanted to do it. That's her own choice. She died for it.
Roll me an insight check, Eros. As someone else that's been in the city for a while. With Talaria. I'm sorry. Yeah, the story of Talaria. You also have a sinking gut feeling that her death or the dwarf's death it's other than just being sad for what it is. You know it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass in some way. It's just a sinking gut feeling that you have.
Either Nobi really fucking fucked up and funny. All this undead shit. What if she somehow came back to life? But like Mel back to life. Kind of, sort of.
I guess, and then oh man,
Birdman saw her body being thrown in a fire pit.
and then you bring up Mel, and the only thing you see is just like the flashes of like what I saw before I almost died, like over and over and over and over again.
little bit of
Fine.
trauma.
Just like the look in Mel's eyes, like before she just started taking bites out of your boy's neck.
Look, it's fine. I think. I don't know. But it should be fine, right?
I made a fucking mistake, man.
Mm, well, it can be fixed, at least. Talaria can't. She's dead. But Mel can be fixed. Anyway, why am I covered in paint?
I don't know. Where did you go last night?
I don't know.
And an inspiration.
Oh, technically I was supposed to
Oh, there you go.
but it still puts me over, but technically I was supposed to roll one, so I just will change my number. I don't know. I remember falling asleep, and that was it.
Oh, we have another person in this house, yeah?
What other person?
A distasteful person.
You're gonna have to clarify.
I can smell them all the way from the living room.
I don't know what that means.
There's literally a drow in your room right now.
I know that.
Distasteful. The 12th house is fucking around. You've got some shit going on.
I mean, I know. Yeah. Why do I feel like I was in a giant pile of rocky meat?
And then I guess that's when you start getting like mental flashes of like a Tarask and the hole and like where I was last night. Like,
Holy shit.
yes.
You had an eventful night.
I very much did.
Almost like my fever dream. I swear, I had the strangest dream. Just, I had talked to that goddess again.
Wait, can I see it? Oh, dude. Can you project your mental your mental trauma on me too?
Yeah, sure. She just she explains what happened, and she's describing it as a fever dream. She thinks that's what it is.
Hmm.
So, she went to Altapar, she cut him down, gave him his book back.
Cut him down?
Yeah. I mean, he's still tied up. He's just not hanging upside down.
Birdman, you're understanding maybe what happened here. Altapar has why PO's under investigation. Altapar got away
Oh,
somehow.
dude. fucking.
He's
Oh
probably
my
not alive, but someone's using what he knew to try to
bitch.
go after PO and make him take blame for, like, he's sort of responsible, yeah, but he's not responsible for everything Altapar did. So the 12th house is trying to manipulate. Is the general impression.
I'm
And
gonna
then,
have to take a motherfucker to court.
and then you get flashes of her getting inside of the Testadine relic as well. And then that's it. Like, I felt like I got pooped out. And then I went back to sleep.
Birdman, the imagery from this telepathic connection it's visceral and disgusting, and you can feel the pain, like the physical pain that this is very painful.
Jeez. Looks like you had an eventful night too.
I mean, it was just a dream,
I
so
don't think it was.
I like
You
dreams.
see on Eros's neck and elbows, marks similar to the marks that her imagery in her dream describes, that look like a puncture mark, sort of like a giant needle.
I roll like some sort of like inside check to like give Eros that impression, like, bro. Like, I don't think you were dreaming last night. I think some crazy shit happened. You don't.
Sure. Insight versus Eros's passive insight.
Nope.
No, probably not very.
Eros is just still. It's a dream. It's a dream. No. Like that couldn't be real. And you even feel the mark on your elbow, and there's like you're just like you must have just fallen over, hit your elbow. It's a little odd that there's a matching one on your other elbow, but
People fall down weird. Come on, you've had fever dreams too.
No, I don't think I have.
You want to have a fever dream?
No,
Why not?
what I want to have is a serious conversation with you.
We have serious conversations all the time. Or do you
I
mean like
almost
right
died
now?
yesterday,
I mean, yeah, you did.
multiple times.
Based off of what you described, yes. It's not that I don't care. It's
I'm wondering if it is because you don't care, though. You're throwing
Ferdinand.
yourself into a lot of situations that I don't know if you can get yourself out of. I'm trying to. There's so many things going on. Now Altafar's gone. Neo's under investigation. Now I have to go bail him out. I haven't seen Strike in God knows how long. I don't even know what he's going through. Mel almost tried to kill me the other day. I don't know what the fuck Setch is doing. He might be sleeping. I'm told now I suddenly have to trust all these people who are trying to kill me or roasting me every day, and I don't understand what's going on, and I'm very afraid.
I'm I'm sorry. And she takes a seat in one of the other chairs. Okay, I know. I'm a lot to deal with. And
No, it's not. It's not. He like slams the table. He's like, "It's not you. It's that."
it's
These drow are problematic. I don't know how to get them off of our back now. Because now it seems impossible. Now all they do is follow you around. There's some shady shit going on under this city, and I don't know what it is, and I'm trying to figure it out. And it's hard.
okay.
and Birdman, I think to echo that, like the impression you're getting in the telepathic bond is Birdman, the 12th house is using her for their aims. You know that. Like this whole situation somehow connected to everything else. You just don't know how yet.
I just think we should relax ourselves a little bit. We need to get everybody back together. We need to figure out what the hell is going on. Because somebody is trying to spread us thin. Somebody knows we're onto them, and somebody is trying to make this seem like it's all coincidence. Like the wall exploding yesterday is a coincidence.
Since
Or
you
like that
slammed
thing-
on the table, Shallow Butter has moved a little closer to like pay more attention to the conversation she can't hear.
I'm just sitting there, like with my head in my hands, like, bro. Like,
This is all too much, bro.
and I guess I like turn around and I see her and I like look at Eros. I pack up my shit. I put it all in my briefcase. I grab my cloak. I put it over myself and I jump out the window. And you just hear, "You need to ditch the drow." And then I just like cut the connection off. I don't even know if I can do that.
I have to do that.
Like, okay, so I'm just like, no, you have to
You-
ditch the drow. I'm gonna go figure out what the fuck is going on. I need to send the first thing I go do is find the badger. Because I'm
Alright.
like, I need to know where he fucking went.
And
Uh,
that's why
get an inspiration point, Birdman, and then yes, Strike. Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's what I'd like to say. I'd kind of like a bit of a flashback episode to what happened before we all went to sleep. Like, Strike went home, played with the kids a little, kind of relieved Cotton of her babysitting duty and stuff. And then, because he's more or less hyperfixated on Leandra right now, took her out for a stroll and finally had that long overdue serious talk with her from the time she ran off.
Sorry, I missed the last sentence.
Let me recap it all. Kind of flashback episode, right? Where he went home, played with the kids a little, and then went off on a stroll with Leandra. Had that serious talk with her he was gonna have with her a long time ago. When she ran off to the festival and stuff, right after Indira died.
God, the flashback. I'm like, I need to go find the badger, and then it just cuts into like the time straight under.
Exactly, that's what I'm
Six-
going for here.
It's like 6 p.m. 2 hours before.
Exactly.
2 hours after the.
You got
2
me, my
hours
man.
after the giraffes.
Well, okay, you come home and being the first one home after that, Cotton is watching over the kids, I imagine. And brief exchange before Cotton is taken away by a contact that needs her for some advantage that's opened up during this whole commotion. The kids are kind of a little high strung. Rogar has gone with Althea to kind of help with some of this and take people that may need like some quick triage, or Rogar just wants to go, he's strong, he wants to go try to help and move some of the rubble and get some of the things ready for the situation. So I imagine you kind of go to supervise a little bit during this time, to kind of go back in the background and Leandra, and you kind of go off on a side walk. Donovan eventually just kind of gets left with Rogar and kind of is like, okay, I'll just hang out there. And Leandra is probably confused by this whole situation at first, I imagine, just not really, because this is a little bit out of the blue. But you guys are seeing that the festival, as you walk through the streets, is lots of fear that it is over after what has happened, and they're not sure. There's other people trying to ensure the God Butchers and the others helping, like Rogar and Leandra, will have it up and running before the next day, so there isn't a loss of this tradition that's been part of the city. Leandra seems a little struck by this. She's a little bit in shock, I imagine. And eventually, because she is kind of direct in a way, I picture, would probably, in that teenager way, like, you want something, or you okay? Or down some weird street in the Tailstones about 6 blocks away from our the Tarrasque. Still healing people kind of going through the work.
That's where Strike says, I'm not sure if I'm okay, but I wanted to know if you're okay after all that's happened so rapidly these past couple days.
I miss my friend, but I think if any of us have learned anything, this city's just gonna change on a whim. But we still got you and Auntie Cotton, and she's been teaching me all sorts of crazy shit. I think she's gonna take me on one of her be a lookout for one of her jobs. I was gonna ask you if that was cool. I assumed it was, though. I need to start making my own living.
Of course, that would be quite alright with me. You're your own person, after all. You've gotta do what you think is right in life. Gotta do what you enjoy in life. It's just it. I guess it doesn't cut it, but I've wanted to apologize about making all these promises about, you know, taking you out on a festival and stuff. Then all this kind of crazy shit happened and couldn't uphold that. And well, I get why you've made your escape, so to speak, to have some fun, distract yourself from all the shenanigans that happened, and I suppose all I'm really trying to say is that I'm sorry.
You, as far as I'm concerned, without a couple of you crazy people like you and Uncle Birdman and even Auntie Eros in her own way, um, I think this city would have been fucked years ago. But you guys do what you can. A lot of the other people just ignore it and let some of the shit go by. Like, you know, I- you killed that monster. That's what people are saying, right?
Didn't do it on my own. Mel was there. Mel helped. A lot of guards helped out. And a lot of guards
Yeah,
died in that fiasco.
uh, I don't know what to think about Mel. Like, her and Birdman got in a fight. Birdman seemed pretty messed up after.
To be entirely fair, we've made some soup. Then we all got kind of crazy and sat in Mel's house, I don't even know how to explain it. All I know is I woke up suddenly and Mel was sucking Birdman's blood and shit. It was crazy.
Oh, what?
Oh yeah, she's a vampire.
What?
Yeah,
They exist?
they do exist. I've met some half-breeds in my time, but never a proper one.
No. Okay. Well,
With
that's
all of the
cool.
crazy stuff that happened lately, I'm really that surprised.
Yeah. I guess when you put it that way. Um,
What I really wanted to talk about. Do you remember the first time we've met?
she kind of turns away a little bit and then turns back to you, a little bit teary eyed. Yeah, I remember. You saved my life, you old fart.
Not that old, you brat.
Oh, you're little. Look at that. Those gray hairs, patchiness right there under your shoulder.
That's just my natural coloration. Don't you get cocky with me.
Uh, Why are you bringing that up? That was years ago. I told you thank you. I will again.
No. That's not at all what this is about. It's just that right after the battle with the giant thing, I've some buildings have been destroyed. Many people died. Nothing new in the city, but on that scale. And then, as I was rummaging through the rubble, looking for any who might have survived, I was a young kid, around the age you have been at the time, in a rather similar situation. Except this time, nothing was after the kid's flesh per se. Damn near attacked the guards from the flashback, I suppose. That's when something snapped. In my mind, I guess. Instead, I can't bring myself to care all that much anymore. And it's scaring me.
She doesn't know what to say. She kind of turns to you and she has that heartfelt, like concerned look, but she doesn't. You're our father, and we know you care about us. So, can you stop this? I I don't know if I can handle. And she looks at you, and what do you do? Because you get the impression she wants to run away.
At that point, Stark shakes his head and says, I don't know if I can handle it either.
And she wants to like grab your hand, but doesn't, and she just rogue disengage thing and just kind of runs away from you. Like it's just like doesn't know what to do, and you see tears in her eyes as she kind of dashes into the city. And what does Ragnar strike as the people of the city of Salt know him do?
That's why he's about to pass out. The last thing he says is, I'd do anything for some soup right now. Crushes face first into the ground and is out cold.
You get an inspiration point.
I'll reward this.
Bravo! 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 Bravo!
It wasn't just for the soup lord.
Touching moments with your kids.
Touching moment! But
Touching
not.
moments with your kids. This is everything
Uh,
we've ever wanted.
Uh,
So this is the second day of the month. Does Mel do anything further to prepare their new lair hidden to the south of the city? Or
I think she would at some point during the day, but first she would want to try and find the Birdman.
Are we back in the present timeline?
I think we are.
Okay.
based upon the previous scene, what that was early in the morning was that scene?
Before he went to bed, yeah.
Before they went to bed. Okay.
That was
So it depends on depends on where Birdman is. I don't know. It's like what time of day Birdman. Where what time of day are you searching for him, and where's Birdman? We need those two questions.
yeah.
Probably at like, I don't know, maybe like 2:30 p.m.
And he's
30,
already left
I'm
the
looking
house.
for my badger friend. I'm at the I'm like probably just left.
Okay, so where's Badger Man?
Where
At
is
2:30 p.m. the next day, after the early morning walk with Leandra. Where's 2:30? So it's like 6 hours after that scene with
So
Leandra.
he's still passed out.
he's still
Pass.
asleep?
Are you passed out at the house, or did you pass out just on the
still-
street?
He's passed out wherever Birdman ends up finding him. Basically.
Okay, so I would like you to roll me a D8 and a D4 to determine where you are in the city.
D8 and a D4.
Okay, D8.
All right.
Okay, D4. All right. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. Birdman, it has taken you the better part of the day, and you are outside of the tower of the Prime Gate, trying to talk to the guards to convince them that, yes, I know I'm not allowed up there, but my friend, I think, has fallen asleep up there based upon reports of a crazed badger monster that in the early hours of the morning, and Mel is like coming into this scene as Birdman has
God.
spent hours trying to figure out and backtrack where the fuck Strike has been, and finally has an idea. And you think you could see Strike's hand hanging off the wall up there at the front, like asleep.
Still pretty fucking bloody, by the
Yeah,
way.
I just holding my coffee in my hand, like, oh my god, please. I know, sir, I can't let you up there. I can't let you up there. I know you cannot let me up there.
Now that they see the hand, they're like, "Yeah, no, but it's our job. Like, he's not supposed to be up there. Like, we need to get him out." There, you're.
Birdman, based on the previous conversation with Eros, I imagine Birdman is not in a good mood. Like, he is so stressed. Like, so he's like, oh my god, oh my god, I understand that I cannot go up there, but friend, up there, Strike, up there, right there, hand, see, hand.
Oh,
right
is that okay? The other guy, there's a couple other guys. One of the guys leans forward and he's like, "Oh, is this human guy?
to
Oh,
your
yeah,
superior.
is that the guy that like killed the thing last night?"
Yes,
You all
yes,
hear a loud
yes.
snoring noise that is bestial in its own respect.
Okay.
His
Well,
it's like pinching the bridge of his beak, like, oh my god, please, like,
Birdman, you recognize the snoring anyway.
okay. Can you I saw this guy walk away, man. Like he was throwing bolt like okay, yeah. All right. They like whisper and basically agree. Let you go deal with the thing that might rip them in half.
yo,
Uh,
wake the fuck up!
and then Man in Eros' voice is yelling, "Wake the fuck up!"
Yo, wake the fuck up!
Slowly, Strike rises to his bed, just groaning in annoyance. What is it?
The guards of the keep like back away like 30 feet and are just like watching from around the corner. They see Belle and they're just like, just go away, just go. They motion, just like, you don't want to see this, or maybe you do.
Mel just leans up against a wall nearby.
Rise and shine, bitches.
Birdman, you. Looks over to the guards, annoyed as fuck. What are you staring at?
Staring at you, sleeping on top of the gate.
How did I get here?
Oh, now who has all the cards in his hand?
What are you? What? Where? What happened? Right, Tarask and stuff. Can you tell these guys to stop staring? They're pissing me off.
They literally like turn around and like like walk away. One of them starts to whistle. Another guy like pulls out a book from somewhere. It's like, oh.
They like turn back to me. I'm like, well, you heard the man. You're pissing me off.
And then like any of the surrounding citizenry that are like in this part of the throat with shops, they start to like close up their shops and they're like, no, okay, let's pack it up for today. Oh, that was a great morning.
I have a present for you.
Present. What is it?
It's an axe.
You pull the axe out.
No.
Okay.
I just say that it's an axe. I can't show it to you here. So we should go to a more private setting, maybe.
Oh, let's go somewhere else. And I don't even want to be here. I don't know. I got here. Let's go.
And then we turn around and what we see Mel like leaning up against the wall.
Just wave at Mel if we even see her.
I do not wave at Mel. I put my hood down and like walk in an opposite direction.
He's following you.
You're still scared of her? I would like to say I'd cast message so we can communicate properly.
No, I'm not scared of her. Why would I be scared of her? I'm not scared.
She
I'm
kind
never
of
I'm the bird.
suck you off, you know.
I'm the Birdman. He like screams at you like
Yes, yes. And I as well.
I fear no man.
And you're the Birdman.
But Mel's not a man.
Well, I know. He says, I fear no man. I'm the Birdman. He turns, I guess he like stops and goes, what?
Listen, we need to talk. I'm gonna let you handle Strike first, but we need to talk afterwards.
What is there to talk about?
You're hilarious.
That's what they tell me.
Is it about the whole wheat incident?
Yes. Now go put the badger down for a nap.
We'll put the badger down for a nap. And I'd take you probably not back to the apartment. Probably to where would be a good place? My office would be a good place, probably. Let's go to my office.
To the office we go.
We go to my office.
We get
to see Birdman's
office.
We get to see Birdman's office.
You get through the gate, go to the back office area, and one of the secretaries. Sir, is that is your client alive?
He's fine.
There's a holding area that would probably be better suited and than the office.
Strike snarled.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Have a good day, sir.
And then I just close the office door, like sit down at my chair and just there's some bad shit going on. And I mean some bad shit.
You don't say.
Don't say. And then
What
I open up the briefcase and I pull out the axe. Wrapped in like this weird burlap, I guess, because they just handed it to me.
What did you do?
Acquisitioned. And then he puts the axe down on the down on the table. He basically like throws it at you. Almost. Like he like slams down the table like my job. I did my job.
I'd like to imagine the axe bounces off and Strike catches it casually.
The sound when it bounces off the table is otherworldly. The way it rings, it's not really exactly metal, and of course, does not shatter by any means. And in your grip, there is there's an obvious energy that reminds you of the energy of chitin that has been gifted to you. Like, it isn't chitin, but there's a similar force.
In that little Patori's voice I heard yesterday, I say, I sense dangerous energies coming off of it.
It feels oddly familiar.
I don't know anything about magic.
I'm gonna say neither do I, but this spirit resting inside my body, clearly magical.
Well, what did the dwarf say about it? And he like looks at Mel, because I know you talked to that fucker about it.
I'm struggling to remember out of character. Steph, what did the dwarf tell me anything about this?
The dwarf said that it would solve Talaria's problem and end the Tarask. That it was strong enough to do that. That's all the dwarf told you, really.
Yeah. He didn't give me much information, to be honest. All he said was that it would be useful against the Tarask and it would solve Talaria's problem. Do we know where she is now?
Your Birdman kind of like looks to the side. Oh shit.
Message. Where is she?
She's probably a pile of ashes that you smell in the beast crown right now, actually.
So nonchalantly strike a laser to Mel.
Probably the ashes that we saw people sweep it up as we're coming in here.
Yep.
It does not smell good in the beast crown right now. I guarantee
No,
you.
does not.
Because what'd you say they killed like 12 like cops? Like 12 or like 15 cops and then also died. They like Bonnie
Yeah.
and Clyde the fuck out of these cops.
Yeah.
And then they had to burn all the bodies to stop all the bodies from becoming undead.
I wrote a whole scene for what happened. Like, if we ever,
So-
if just because I enjoyed the build up of it. So, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so she's not here. Is what Birdman just says. He's like, she's not here.
So she's
Well-
fucking dead.
That complicates things.
Oh, so just got us rid of a problem, didn't it?
It got
That
rid of a
annoying
problem,
bitch.
but it didn't answer any questions. It only gave me more.
We'll manage.
What about the dwarf himself?
He's also dead.
They're just great.
the only thing you guys know about the dwarf is he's not from this city. So you guys know.
So, and then he has that taken care of. So then he turns to Mel and just says, "So, we need to talk." And he puts up like the air quotes, like,
Please. Things got out of hand.
"No shit."
Okay, there's no need for the attitude.
Okay. Fair.
I
Fair.
think mistakes were made on both ends,
Fair.
and I lost my temper.
I am not a good man. I will say. But
Well,
I make mistakes like everyone else. And it was a mistake. So the only thing I can say is thank you for not killing me and granting me another day here.
it's not my place to grant anyone life. I think that anyone in this city who claims to be a good person is either lying to everyone else or to themselves. So I appreciate the honesty.
Speaking of honesty,
Mm.
I know what you've been looking for. I'm not stupid either. But I think
Please elaborate.
there's a hole in the tailstones. We should investigate it. It leads into the Underdark. And it's where that thing came out of. But not on accident. Or not on purpose, I guess.
Mel, with the investigation you did for your new layer, you would know what he's talking about. Like that part. It's part of the hole the Trask came out of.
I'm sure you
But-
know that there are tunnels under this city that lead way into the reaches and depths of the city. Strike has found some, but they go deeper. They go way deeper.
What's our end goal here, Birdman?
Figure out what the fuck is down there, would be my guess. The Drow know something. They're onto us about something, I think. Because we're close.
You're likely correct.
So
The
we
wall.
go down and we killed him. What's the big deal?
The wall blowing up was on purpose. The Tarask coming out was not.
Okay. I do have another concern here. What has Eros been doing with the Drow?
I don't know.
We need to find out.
Ask her.
Flashback time.
Yes!
Love the flashbacks.
Flashback to just after Birdman jumps out the window and leaves.
Yeah, fucking
Amazing.
What has Birdman been doing? I don't know. And then literally, like, I look up and then, fucking 200 hours. Right after Birdman jumps out the window. Arrows takes the narrative.
So Eros is sitting at the table, and with the way that Birdman left, she doesn't sever the connection, but she doesn't utilize it. And she sits there, kind of has her she's leaning over, elbows on the table, her hands clasped up to her forehead, and she's saying, "No, it was just a fever dream, right? That's all it was. Right? Right?" But she comes to the conclusion No. No, of course it wasn't. Of course. I did something. Again. And it hurt my best friend. And I'm here calling it a fever dream. And he's hurt. And I have someone here who's causing more hurt for him again. And she stands up. She turns around, looks at Shallow Butter, and says, I need to know right now, why exactly do you help the 12th house?
It is my duty to do so. Some of us were not born with choice so readily given to us.
If you had the choice, would you do it again?
I don't see what your power of dance or song would have any means to change my past. I only can see what it can change for my people's future. So once you're rested, I think we should return to show the others what you've learned.
But does it have to be about your people? What is it for you?
She doesn't know quite how to answer the question. She just kind of situates herself awkwardly to wait for you to get ready to leave to return back to the 12th house to kind of. That's what you know she wants or was told to do once you were ready and done with your time in the city. Like, they're not trying to. They're still trying to hold true to their deal of, like, you are essentially free to go about in the city as you choose until they are done with this purpose.
I am asking you, who is Shallow Butter, really? Are you beyond the drow? Or are you more of a string on someone else's instrument, being plucked when they want to pluck it, and never playing a tune just for yourself?
She takes a couple steps and she kneels down after looking over her shoulder more than a few times to make sure there's someone not in the window or whatnot listening. And she whispers, if you have a plan of how we could change this, then yes, I would like something different. But to say more than what I have said now, even what I have said now, is death for me, if not for you, eventually.
Eros will kneel down with her and put her hand on Shallow's cheek and will establish, only for 2 hours, a mental connection and say in her mind, I might not have a plan, but I'm tired of hurting and letting down my friend. I am not going to allow anyone to play my instrument for me. If we work together, we can do something different. We could live our own lives, and maybe someone has to die for it. But I'd rather die fighting for my own life than live in silence fighting for someone else's.
They said something before you passed out. Well, after you passed out, I should say. They are unsure of the imprint process that they feared was part of this. You may control what they think they still have in control. So for right now, you have all the cards, young one. They truly do not understand. I don't understand what you have done. And they need time to understand that. In order to do that, I fear it will be your life for them to understand. It's just they haven't fully committed to that idea yet, out of some false pretense of time. I am not naive either. My mother has overstepped. There will be others that are chomping at the bit to go after her. Now that she has revealed, I think, too much. We could take advantage of this, but the likelihood of success. But I did watch you perform something, awaken something that no one said was possible, and live afterwards to say. And I have heard of what your friends did yesterday to the beast. Maybe. But you need to want it. I don't know if I can. Not alone.
Guess what? You're not alone now. I didn't survive for 21 fucking years just to wallow in the sadness of my past.
He chuckles at 21 years, obviously being much older.
Listen, I ain't the brightest bulb inside of the drawer shed. I don't know what that means, but it makes sense for the situation. But I might have an idea, and it might get us everything we could want. The first things first, though, I need to get back with my friends.
I can give you space for an hour, maybe two. Any more than that, and suspicions were be beyond heightened. They already are of you. You You demonstrated a visceral control over it that we did not expect. Your personality, I do believe the imprint they feared has happened.
Well, don't worry. Keep close. You don't have to leave for. You don't have to be too far away. But
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure my friends and I will only need a little bit of time. And as long as we're within the city, I can keep constant connection with all of us. So, I'm just got one thing that I need to do. And probably as you guys are having that conversation and you say you don't know what Eris is up to, you get back in your head. Birdman, I have a plan. And it just might be crazy enough to fucking work. If the Birdman is back. Or he's muted. So he might not be back. I don't know.
He did not type back since the last BRB. Yet.
No, he did not. Well, shit, this is awkward.
Well, there we go.
Silent.
Silence. The final frontier.
The map you're on is the inevitable court map that we will use. I found a really
We're
cool
gonna have a
map.
Phoenix Wright episode, eh?
You're gonna have a Law and Order episode, basically.
Law and Order.
I need to
dude.
finish. I need to finish writing some pieces of it. But,
Objection.
you know,
Obsession.
I wanna play in with some of the tropes, but also subvert some of the tropes. Because the stage courts is kind of a farce.
Your Honor, dead ass. My client is thick as fuck, and no cap. They would bust a cap. Easy.
Not guilty.
Yeah.
No. Birdman.
Your Honor, what do you mean lack of evidence? My client clearly said he was being dead ass.
Obviously, they're clearly not guilty.
Well, as we wait for Birdman and the plan, let me write a note about shallow butter. With your passive insight, I had her roll a charisma check. She's sincere. She just doesn't believe this will work. You generally get the impression she is scared to death of the matron mother. Like scared to fucking death. This woman is so powerful. But other than that,
Okay.
if you guys could come up with something.
Birdman, you hear it in your voice, hear in your head. Birdman, I have a plan. This is like just as you said, like you don't know what Eros is up to.
Oh no.
So then you hear in your head, I have a plan. And
Oh.
it's just crazy enough that it might work.
Hold. I say out loud. Hold.
Where are you right now?
Oh dear.
This. With Mel and Strike at the moment.
Yeah, but where?
I'm at my office in the stage courts.
Okay, I'll be there. Just give me a few minutes.
Wait.
Don't
you bringing
worry.
with you?
Listen, you might not believe me, but Shallow Butter, she's on our side.
No, you're right. I don't
She's-
believe it. That sounds fucking ridiculous.
I know. Look, she's scared. Okay? She's scared to death. but she'll trust me.
If you want to roll an insight check versus their passive persuasion, to see, I think that's a more interesting roll if Birdman rolls an insight versus your passive persuasion. Having two active rolls. Still high. It's still like 22 or something.
Yeah.
It's real fucking high.
Like to see if Birdman at all in this situation, because I would think the active persuasion.
he got
if you were
it!
like,
He got it!
okay, so there's a sincerity in Eros's voice that gives you hope. There's still doubt, but there's hope there that like maybe something might work out in our favor. Because like having an inside person with the drow, what? Like
All right. You are lucky I like you.
Aren't I just the luckiest girl in the world?
Aren't you just the luckiest girl in the world?
Okay, look, I'll be over. She's not gonna follow very close behind. She'll be, well, in the area, but
Well, that bitch should go get a sandwich or something.
she probably could just go get a sandwich.
Yeah.
I picture in the other connection you have with her, you should get a sandwich. He's like, okay, I'll get a sandwich.
Yeah. So, fast forward. Just hit fast forward on the remote, and
So then-
Yeah, so you guys hanging out in the stage courts, being bored, waiting until Eros shows up.
Eros is on her way right now.
You want to play a game of cards?
He looks up at you like, I swear to God, woman. Like,
It's trying to lighten the mood.
Are any of you proficient in cards?
I am.
I might, yeah.
All right, like let's roll d20 plus proficiency if you're proficient, and you can use wisdom or charisma.
or Dex if you
Or
wanna-
dex if you want to like do cheat sleight of hand shit. But that's like sleight of hand. That's like, you could use sleight of hand if you want to
Yeah.
cheat.
What are the skills we use?
It's a gaming cards. It's its own skill.
I'll just go for straight wisdom. I'm not proficient.
It's a tool, technically.
I had mine as like the actual whatever card game it is.
Yes.
I think it's based off poker or something.
Bro, it's actually fun as fuck. Have you guys played it?
No.
No,
It's pretty fun.
that's cool. Well, Mel loses in the first round, and then they play another round, and Birdman. You're surprised that Strike is this resilient with his whatever strategy it was totally just accident. You realize he just had good hands. It's just like towards the end he's just like, fucking god, just luck was on your side. By the time you're done through the second round, you get like a courier come and knock on the door. This little where is he? This little rabbit man. Mr. Whistle is his name. And he comes and knocks on the door and has Eros in tail behind him. A young lady bard from the 13th house to see you, sir.
Yeah, let her in. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Who, you did, are these friends? The door slams in his face.
Bitches, who's ready to get wet?
I look at Strike. The game I had in mind is like Strike is like going like we're playing really good and it's like a good hand and it's like, oh, Strike might be winning, and then like I only beat him by 2, so I just kind of go, no, you're not beating me. Read him and weep, suck my dick. Hey, Arrows, how's it going?
Strike shrugs, says, good game. Oh, hi, Arrows. What's up?
Yeah, he just drops the cards like read him and weep, suck it.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Arrows.
Oh,
hi, Mark.
hi. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mel. Okay, let's
Art.
just make
Wow.
sure that everything is fine here.
Oh, hi, Mark.
And for the next 3 hours, she is mentally connected with Strike, and 4 hours mentally connected with Mel. Okay, now we can all talk without anybody hearing us.
I'm not sure that I like this.
It's great. It's absolutely wonderful. I have no idea how it works, but it does.
Nobody eavesdropping.
Hmm.
It's a good deal to me.
So
Exactly.
the ability allows you to connect people.
I am using myself as a mental highway.
Okay.
Wild.
So if I can
So every 2
telepathically...
seconds, does Eros just go, "Oh, Mel said this" to the
No.
other two?
No, I just kind of like pass along the thought, like kind of like
You're like the electric conduit thing that allows the current to travel.
exactly.
We can
Okay.
send like pictures and images to people.
I am a walking computer with very limited information. Do not.
So
Google
it's lots of
anything.
everyone staring at arrows. Like quietly, just everyone's just staring at arrows intently. Like and then Eros like projects a conversation in your guys' mind of you sitting down in this room talking. What if anyone were to come into this room? You're just all staring at Eros. Just confused. Get an inspiration point for the imagery because it makes me laugh. Everyone. So.
That's funny.
So,
All right.
It is. It's like this, like nice, like oh yeah, we can see us all sitting down at like a nice table.
Yeah,
but,
that's
like,
what you guys see, but
yeah,
like,
reality is just us staring at arrows like.
and if anyone like you don't know that either, like so if anyone comes in the room right now, like it's like they'll like shake you a couple times and you get jostled out of it.
okay, so let's start off by saying this much. I figured out what the ancient artifact is that the Drows are interested in.
Oh.
It's how to describe it. Imagine putting on a giant suit of armor and you can somehow move it.
Large, dangerous, and not to be trusted to anybody in the 12th house.
Yes.
Check and check.
Exactly. And it has its own quote unquote sentience, but while I was inside of it, I had full control. I don't know everything it can do, but I felt pretty strong.
Sounds rather dangerous.
Oh yeah, extremely. Just jumping up and down was causing the ground to shake. It's fucking huge.
Oh shit, bro! I look at fucking Strike like, bruh.
Strike looks back at you like, bruh.
They just let you play with it?
Well,
And in this mental connection, since it's more telepathic, like images and stuff happen. So like you could show sort of imagery of what happened, like not the whole picture, but enough for them to like see. So
In
if
our
you want to
little-
describe it that way too.
In our little meeting where we're at, I now have a chalkboard, like
It just appears.
I have a
It's
mental
just-
image of a giant man in a suit fighting a Tarrasque.
yeah, I'm like pointing at it with like a pointer. I'm like, this is what we know as of now.
PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah. In my normal, regular speaking voice too. By the way, not like
This is great.
the weird the sounds.
Well, does Birdman in his mind's eye see himself as the
Oh,
Kenku?
shit. No, I don't think so. Bro.
So I don't know. You guys
That's
can
a conversation for another day.
That's an, like you might not fully see a bird man exactly. You might see like a guy in a bird suit or like something like that. Like like
The first part of the thing, Mel's just
Just-
staring at him.
He has like a chicken suit.
No, it's like
Just
it's like your ranger suit, but it has like this like bird nose on it, and there's like this guy underneath that's talking to you in this normal voice.
I'm just wearing like a Groucho Marx glasses, like, but it's like a
Get
But I
another
literally
inspiration point.
know.
I love it.
oh no. It's
So,
like, well, boys, this is what we know. I guess it's being for the first time.
not to mention, an arrow
everyone's wearing a suit.
using her hand is
You
like
guys all staring at me weird.
creating a map on the chalkboard. She like waves her hand and a map is created on the chalkboard. This is the path to get to it via the 12th house. It goes deep, deep, oh so fucking deep underground.
That's that hole we were talking about. I point at Mel. Like, that's that hole.
The part you point out from what Arrows just made with this map. Yeah, the part you went to, Birdman, with the sewers is like 3 or 4 levels above where you went down into this other part, and it's like a couple 100 feet north of where you started to explore to find your caverns, Mel. Like, it kind of makes you slightly uncomfortable how close this actually is.
Oh, why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? I don't understand.
It's neither here nor there.
Here's the thing. So this is what I'm thinking. I can easily get right back inside. But we need things to go wrong. The matron mother is a little bit of a tenuous situation at the moment. She's kind of overreaching. And if things go wrong, things might fall out of place. So, I'm thinking we need to make a jailbreak. If we can find a close enough cavern to this area where this artifact is being held, I could easily break a wall through and we'll have an escape route.
And we just go through the hole.
Strike holds up his new axe and asks, "Do I get to test this thing then?"
I mean,
Low down.
It would seem so.
probably.
Sounds good to me.
Are we sure that we want the drow to definitively think of us as their enemies?
It's
Yes.
either that or we actually do what they want.
No,
According to my recent business transactions, the drow already think we're their enemy. They're going after PO for some of the Althapar stuff.
Which is unfortunate, as I do think that is partially my fault for what I did last night. But if we can just make everything go wrong, if we can get out with that artifact, the drow are gonna have a lot of issues when it comes to matters of who's on whose side. I don't know if I would trust someone if they allowed an outsider to come in and just get away with our possession.
So, we break in, we slaughter some drow bastards and get out.
Essentially.
And we take their shit in the process.
What are we waiting for? Let's go right away.
I'm just not sure how confident and overt we should be about this.
And as much as I hate to be that guy and agree with Mel, I agree with Mel.
Why is it such a bad thing to agree with me?
Like, it's such a bad thing to almost kill me.
He turns to
I already apologized for that.
I know. That doesn't mean I'm not going to give you shit for it.
Well, look, here's the other option. We don't do this. they still have access to this artifact, and I either die so that they understand how it works, or I do what they want.
Let me be very, very clear. I do not think that this is something we should avoid doing entirely. I'm just saying so often we take actions and we don't really think about them beforehand. We act rashly in the heat of the moment, and that's all right sometimes. But I think with something like this, that is a very direct act of war against the drow, we need to formulate a plan.
That's what we're doing! We're formulating a plan!
So
There's a knock on the door.
There's always a knock on the door.
who is
Mel
it?
will, before answering it, can I try and peek through a crack or something, or maybe like a keyhole to try and ascertain who it is?
There is probably some sort of keyhole, like official latch of some sort. You you have to look down eventually because you don't see anything. But then you see a little pair of ears, and you look down. There is a otter man
Uh-oh.
that's there.
I love him. Let him in.
No. Mel's gonna cast disguise self on herself.
Okay. To be what?
Basically just to look like a normal human secretary or something.
Who
Okay.
is it?
And she'll open the door ever so slightly and step outside and close the door behind her to talk to this person.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
not saying anything!
I don't know who you are. I am Professor Blue. Is Master Birdman in? I told he was talking with a visitor. I have their name here. What did Eros write down as their name on the paperwork?
God damn it, I'm trying to think.
Eddie's very close.
Seymour Butts.
Seymour book.
Okay. I hate you. Follow-up question. How does Wendy know this name?
Wendy knows all the names. She just knows.
Okay. Okay. Through the door, your passive perception is pretty high, Eros. You hear him continue to explain to Mel. A friend name uh, what's a good Wanda heard me filing some papers about this Seymour Butts character, and they said that they could be a witness in the trial. I thought it was some sort of farce, but they insisted. Birdman checked in as the overseeing attorney. Is he here, or shall I return later?
I'm afraid that the attorney at crime is somewhat preoccupied at the moment, speaking to the party you spoke of, Seymour Butts.
Son of a bitch!
Let me quickly ask him what he would like to do at this present moment.
Good. Do be warned. It is a rather urgent matter. This Wanda is about to be seen by the judge.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh. Okay.
Arrow
So
steps
walk back
Birdman
in.
and is out loud enough so that the outer man hears this. Come on, we gotta go. Things are getting real tight in this hole, and we gotta pull out now.
See more butts. Really? See
Mel walk back in.
Well,
Birdman, there's a Wanda about to see a judge.
Okay. This is like what? She's about to.
I love it. Yeah. So,
I don't know what.
Eros. It takes you a moment, Eros, but eventually you're like, oh, that's Wendy's name. Like Wendy uses that as one of her names. Shit. That's like when the name she uses when she's in trouble too. Uh, kind of thing. You've known each other for years, so
The tiny otter who was doing paperwork said it was urgent.
Birdman, this absolutely is urgent. It's not Wanda, it's Wendy, my friend.
Oh no. Wait. Why is she gonna see a judge?
I don't know, something.
I wasn't notified of this. This is completely irrational and illegal. What's happening?
I think they're notifying you right now.
What the hell is this? I like stand up and I walk out and I'm like, what do you want? Look at the honor man. Like, what do you want, man?
is a Mr. or Mrs. Seymour Butts present with you?
Yes, Seymour Butts is inside.
Yes.
Seymour Butts.
And he like looks past Arrows, thinking Strike spoke up. It's like, Mr. Seymour Butts, can you come with me?
It's actually Madam Seymour Butts.
Get
out here.
Fucking confused. I'm not. Who is Seymour Butts?
Seymour Butts? That's what you put on the registry?
Madam Butts, please.
Second arrows?
Madam Butts! You would have thought it was Madam Bosom.
I'll
No.
let you know that my ass and my tits are both great.
Well,
Bosom's the middle name.
the master theorem is allowing a Mistress Wanda to speak in defense of a recent crime. She was asking for a character witness. She overheard your name. Could you, as I was filing them away, would you please follow me? You can bring one person as a confidant, if you wish.
I bring my attorney, duh.
Yes.
Birdman, come on! It's time to get lawyering.
Man like looks up at the sky and does like the superhero pose, like puts his like hands on his hips. He's like, yeah. And then he points in that general direction and then they walk away.
I fought in your general direction.
I thought.
As the final door of 3 opens, I forgot to put torches down. So I forgot to do that. You do you. As the final door of 3 opens, the room, even the room Mel and Strike and Birdman are still in. Birdman, I assume, following Arrows.
Yep.
You hear organ music.
Oh
Play.
shit.
Sounds like home.
Wrong
Not
song.
wedding music.
Sir, this is the
playing. Da 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 da. Bro, what?
Yeah,
Who hired this guy? Who hired him?
All right. And you come into a grandiose room. You guys can come in the room if you want. You're just not there.
That frog is
Yeah.
wearing a suit.
Wait, do we walk? Like, this is the courtroom? There are like people in here.
Yeah.
Oh
It's a
hell yeah! I
courtroom.
walk in here and I'm
Like
like,
that.
this better be good, you motherfucker. Is it like the same judge every time, or is it like a different?
There is. What
How
did
many
I
judges
put?
are there in this? There's got to be more than one. It can't
There's
just-
more than one. I just don't remember.
If there is more than one,
The attorney at crime surely knows the judges.
knows.
any of these judges, yeah.
Meanwhile, Mel instructs
Um,
the office. Stark just looks at Mel and
There
kind of
is more than one. We'll just say the only one right now is the one I've made.
Mel just fucking lays on the floor, man.
The judge is judge. He is Judge Thor Am. And Thor Am is
Like a black dragonborn, bro.
mm, yes, he's a black dragonborn.
Go off.
Eros is just pointing and just yelling, "There's a frog in a suit! I repeat, there is a frog man in a suit!"
What is so strange about my suit? It is the ancient fashion. Who is this person?
it is Wednesday, my dude.
I am Miss Seymour Butts, here with my attorney, Birdman, attorney at crime.
The judge face bombs. He's like,
Mrs.
oh, no.
Mrs. Butts, I am Lord Bubblecut, and we have your associate Wendy here on trial for thievery from the first house, and she has asked for your witness to her alibi. And
Wendy
Eros,
or Wanda?
Wanda, he would have said Wanda. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is me messing up. Eros, you know you can truthfully not support her alibi at all. You have not seen her in days, so
I got this.
you know that's the issue here. So Wanda is like, yes, you remember we were 12 hours ago at the garden, and we were viewing the roses, enjoying our evening. It was quite lovely. We
Your evening.
Wanda, come on. You know, it's me. It's Butts. It's Seymour Butts. And you,
she tries not to fucking laugh. She's just like that look of like, why did you pick that name today? Why did you pick that name today? Like, you've done this to me so many times where I've had to pretend Seymour Butts is my best friend.
It's the butts.
And I am going to yeah, I might as well just do this. So I'm going to use the 3-point inspiration rule to roll the absolute best I possibly could on a deception check, which is 28. And if we want to get fancy, I could spend a side die to make that a 36. I don't know if that would cost me more inspiration. I have the inspiration to spend, but
Legendary 36.
unless you want me to spend another inspiration, I'll do it to make it a 4 or whatever. I'll keep it at 3 for now. I don't know.
For what? The side die?
My psionic die that I can spend on ability skill checks.
You can spend it, yeah. You can roll it.
Okay, but if I want to max it out with the roll, should I spend another inspiration or do we just leave it at the 3? Okay, so then I'm spending 4 inspiration.
Okay.
Gotcha. And This is complete deception. Eros begins weaving the most elaborate tale of them being at the park, as she said, as Wendy said, saying, "Yes, of course we were at the park. Oh, it was so lovely. The grass was smelling like shit, like it always does. The concrete looked like someone had pissed all over it. Honestly, people really need to get a janitor over there to clean that shit up because it's just bad." But it was an absolute lovely. Did Wanda specify the time of day?
12 hours ago from now.
12 hours ago, so it would have been night.
Yes.
It was a lovely night. The stars were just shining in the sky, absolutely brilliant. Although, honestly, it was kind of hazy because, again, it smells like shit all the time. We were having a lovely.
And then you remember
Picnic.
yourself 12 hours ago, like inside of a metal creature thing. That's like, uh, while this is going on, Master Armorn is also playing like backup music with the organ to like intensify your story because he's enjoying it so much.
And we had a lovely picnic made by yours truly because I am one of the best cooks. Everyone's always like, I'm trying to get into Butts' cooking. Butts' cooking is the best cooking. Have you ever been inside of Butts' home? Like, it's very cozy, and that cooking is
Were
the
you the
absolute
one?
shit.
Were you the one? Were you the one? This little hedgehog guy comes over. Were you the one that made the steak that everyone talked about? He gave me a piece.
You're goddamn fucking right. I'm the one that made the steak. I am the steak bitch. Okay? We
The
were
steak
having
bitch, Your Honor. The steak bitch.
we were having the most amazing of dinners, and then we fucked. We fucked for hours.
All right, Lady Butts. Enough of your carnal descriptions. The
They fucked,
judge
Your Honor.
raises his hand.
They fucked,
And-
Your Honor.
Thank you, Master Birdman. That needed echoed indeed. Master Bubblecut, I think the words of Wendy's defense have spoken enough to verify any alibi. Master Birdman, as a known associate of Lady Seymour Butts, can you speak to the veracity of this tale?
Oh, they fucked, Your Honor. They fucked hard.
Oh my
Oh, they were fucking.
Judge Thorium is not laughing. He's much more serious. He nods very vigorously and he's like, well, a witness and another is more to speak than we need to this defense. Bubblecut, do you have anything left to say? No, sir, but what about the missing gems and the axis that was taken from the first house vaults? We have clear evidence that it is associated with one of the feline sort and this well-known...
Listen, Bubble Butts. I need you to understand and step off of my girl right now, or we're gonna have like all the problems, okay? You don't want to get into it with a West Side bitch. West Side bitches snap weaves.
Does this mean that I can undo the binds? Yes.
Wait. Hold on. Don't fight in the courtroom. We don't need to do that.
No, there's no fighting allowed in the courtroom. If you want to fight, bring it outside, or we will have to make it a court decision, and then I will decide who wins, whether or not wins.
Judge hurt himself and it's confusing.
I think the judge smoked a fat one before he got up on stage today.
I think he's short circuited.
I don't think he's ready for today.
Animaeus could
Master Swiss Spike starts to undo Wendy's binds, and Wendy's like, thank you, Swiss Spike. You've been quite nice. Bubblecut, I apologize. I did not mean to offend anyone. I'm sure we'll see you around. And he just stares at her with just disbelief at what the fuck just happened here. You both Seymour Butts actually existed. Like, what the fuck?
If the first house has any more concerns, they can gladly drop a formal complaint on my desk, and I will put it in my garbage can. And then I will take it out of my garbage can and feed it to Strike.
What is a strike?
That's a strike. Pointing over her shoulder to the audience.
Strike's that.
Why?
We're in the office.
They're still in the office, technically. Just so they can see. Well, Birdman, thank you. Bubblecut, thank you. And Bubblecut just hops out angrily.
I was gonna say, like, if the judge leaves, I look at Bubblecut like, bitch.
Yeah, the judge is starting to leave. He goes
I
back
would-
over to his
I would think
quarters.
Eros and Birdman are creating the mental image for Mel and Strike, so Eros sees Strike sitting in the pews.
Phoenix Wright shit. And I'm just in my Groucho Marx glasses.
Strike
That's right. They
says
fucked-
out
This
loud.
ginormous lizard folk man leaves kind of disgruntled from the room, and Wendy stares at him with a sigh of relief. You all know that this is Master Firefin, who is the executioner of the stage courts.
Oh my god.
Poor guy.
He's nasty.
That dude probably gets paid bank though. To just
He
stand-
does.
He gets paid bank to just stand there and maybe chop a head off or two. Who knows?
Or three.
And Strike says out loud, I'm not a raccoon. I don't need trash.
Birdman, you have a new apprentice you're training. That was never seen Firefin reverse an idea so quickly. Forgive me. Birdman, you know this is Bright. His name is he's attorney Bright Eyes. He's one of the attorneys that works here. He's not a bad guy, but he's
What does he do? Is he
oh
like a defense attorney like me?
yeah
Is he like a public defense attorney?
yeah.
Oh no.
So he doesn't get paid really the big bucks. He just kind of works here all the time. And he's just like, I see more butts, huh? He obviously doesn't believe it and like walks out. It's just like, okay. And then you guys are left
Yeah.
to do your thing as the rest of the people start to clear out. The guy finishes his dramatic song and starts to go to.
Yeah, that's what happens when you mess with Seymour Butts and her girl. You get your fucking weave snatched. West Side, bitch.
West Side, bitch. That's getting used, by the way. That you shouldn't fuck with a West Side bitch. That's
That's the title of the episode.
That's gonna
No.
get later.
All right, you guys head back to the office and too far.
I'm back in the office. Hey, go ahead.
Master Blue comes back with you. It's like, I cannot believe it. Well done, Master Birdman. Another win for your belt. Excuse me, I must go report in with the new changes. Crossing your name off the block, Mistress Wanda. Well done.
As soon as the otter leaves and the door closes, Eros is going to hug Wendy real close and is going to drop a side eye to mentally bind them for 3 hours, and will say telepathically, Oh my god. What the fuck? What the fuck? I do crazy shit, but you're not supposed to do crazy shit. What the fuck was that?
You never bumped.
Last night was a crazy fucking night. Okay? And the first house has been pushing into some new territory. I saw an opening. I took an opening. That's all that happened. Here, I'll get your cut later. Okay? It's good. It's good. Nothing to worry about. Thank you.
Hey, just please be more careful. I don't need another friend to worry about getting caught by another house. I don't need that shit right now.
What do you mean, another friend?
You remember
Where's Cotton?
Cotton? She's fine. She's at
Okay.
home.
Well,
Do you remember my protege?
I met her once. I thought she just like got one of the weird sicknesses or mutated or something. She's still around?
Yes, she got captured by the 12th house. I just managed to get her back.
Oh shit.
Exactly.
Are the rest of you? Who are Birdman? Who are these two?
That's none of your concern.
It's a
Mel
little odd.
smiles.
It's a little odd you're in my head, but okay.
We're all in each other's heads right now. It's not that crazy.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with everyone being inside of
Maybe
each
just
other.
a little annoying.
Strike, is
Looks
that
like
you?
Yes, that is me. This is
Sometimes I just wish
Hello,
that
my
people
baby.
would give me peace and solace at my job, and yet here we are.
You're a lawyer. What the fuck did you expect to happen?
Peace and solace at my job.
Yeah,
He
Should
did
we
go on and
account-
on about that when we first came here.
Do you look?
the
I look so stupid in this dream realm.
well, Birdman, you know that this place is one of the best places for the houses to make money, so they've been awfully pushy the last couple days with all the different shifts and fear from the earthquakes. And then last night, I can only imagine what's going to happen at the first of the week with all the new schedules. Like, they're going to. There's lots of pressure here. So, we'll see.
I can see that.
Well,
Anyway,
Thank you. I should probably leave soon. Just, don't want us. I got things I got to do.
just lay low for a while, especially if something happens to happen at a certain particular house that might cause an entire uprising. Just don't even get involved. Just stay away from it entirely. It'll be bad, okay?
Yeah, the uprising is usually a word you don't want to hear.
I don't think
In
I've
other
ever
words-
heard something that's both way too specific and way too vague.
To put it simply,
She has a way with words.
very, very stupid. So stay out of it.
So opportunity against which house?
The 12th house? The 12th? The one
Oh,
1 2?
okay. Good luck
And
with
none
that.
of your concern, House.
Well, okay, yeah, good luck with that. They got a small army anymore. Without help from another house, I don't see what you guys are gonna do.
Oh, we're
Kill,
gonna do
of course.
something.
I thank you, but I need to go. Probably try to get out of the city or something. And she leaves.
yes.
Okay, so back to the plan. We're gonna make a tunnel, right? We're gonna get into that hole. We're gonna make another hole, and I'm gonna escape through that hole. And this should throw the drow all over the fucking place.
Just point to where. I'll take care of it.
As rangers, and then a ranger of the Underdark.
2 Rangers of the Underdark.
2 rangers. and
Yeah, that's right. Both of you Underdark Rangers. The fear of another cave-in, like the one that destroyed the wall, whether that was on purpose or accident, is something that would come to mind from Eros's plan. Like by the general description and imagery of she's seen this thing will cause a shit ton of damage, and if it's done in the wrong place, you could create a sinkhole down to the Underdark for like an entire neighborhood.
And we saw firsthand how that goes. So
All
unless you
we
don't want creepy crawlies crawling out of your doors,
Just
mean-
more ingredients.
we that's why we're talking about it now. We're gonna plan it out. We're gonna figure out the structural integrity of this cave system. And maybe rig it so that it collapses the 12th house only. Maybe if we can. It might not be possible. But if we can, we collapse the 12th house in on itself. We escape with the artifact. And we find somewhere to lay low. Or at least somewhere where they won't know to look.
There's also the other worry that would come in to the more wise characters of the group. The rangers, so to speak, of like the setup of the city. Like if a sinkhole happens too close to the terrace, you don't know what that would do exactly. Like the binds are magical and something, but like the thing did wake up 12 years ago and destroyed a portion of the city. So you guys are wondering if that wasn't the 12th house trying to do something. But
I say
Eros,
first thing we do is just check out the hole, just scout it out.
I think scouting is a great idea. I think before we do anything, we should take another day to rest. We've all been through a lot, and I doubt any of us are thinking right.
Thinking right, thinking right, thinking right.
Since when have we ever been thinking?
If
I
I'm
try to
not
think through things.
if I'm not thinking right now, then there basically is no hope at that point. I know you're trying to be safe, you're trying to be cautious, but I am too. I'm not initiating this until we actually have something laid out. I'm not saying I'm going in and turning it on right now and expecting you guys to follow up.
Before any of that, I should at the very least try to find a safe spot for the kids.
I feel like I don't need to be a bird anymore.
What?
Yes, can we quick have a discussion about Birdman? Why do you look like that?
What are you talking about? Do I not look like me? Is there a mirror here?
You look like you're wearing a chicken suit.
Yeah.
you think of a mirror and a mirror appears in your hand.
I look down at myself. Am I wearing a chicken suit? Like a raven suit?
Basically it's like a plague doctor suit almost.
Like like a big like hockey mascot suit. Like
Yeah, it's like hockey mask meets plague doctor meets chicken suit.
shit. Yes, I
So
am.
it's just
I am not a bird. I was not a bird at one point. I didn't think of myself as a bird, and as of a recent situation, I believe that I need to find out what happened.
So, in my apartment, whenever everything, happened, that voice, that was your true voice.
This is my true voice, yes, that you're hearing currently as we speak. This is the Birdman voice.
Belle's just like one of her eyes starts twitching.
Look, he used to not be a bird, okay? We just Move on from that part.
Can we focus on the important things now?
Exactly. Like how we're gonna make the 12th house a brand new hole to fuck them with.
What she said.
I do agree that maybe we should lay low, but I also think that maybe we should scout out the hole. That might be useful, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We scout it out first. Figure out how to make this hole first. From the other side.
Yes.
Roll an insight check, whoever wants to.
I shall. I have it.
Yeah.
I shall do
do it.
so.
A 30. 30.
23
So-
makes sense. I'm the tunnel specialist.
Okay, well, the DC was 15, so good job.
Yay!
We did it.
We did it.
Hooray!
Resounding success. Doing this without the help or approval of one of the, at least one, preferably more like 3 other houses will incite a civil war if it's not done right. You know that much. Like what you're doing here is destabilizing years and years of work the 12th house has done that other houses are going to be reluctant to give up. Especially your house, Eros, the 13th house. Fuck. They've made so much money from what the 12th house has done over the last 100 years. Like, Strike probably less cares about this, but would understand that idea that without help from one of the other houses, like the first or the fourth or the sixth house, which are a little more on the lawful side,
Look,
this,
I find a safe spot for my kids. I'm all in for all-out war.
yeah. Mel, like your 9th house is one of the ones that's most against. So it's the same with the 10th house. Birdman would know. They're the ones that like are direct rivals with the 12th house and have been for years. So they would be open to the idea, but working together, it's a different idea. But you understand that if you just go in and start to take out the 12th house, the whole will not be solved with their absence. Like metaphorically speaking, no matter what physical hole you create.
There will always be complications. I think we're all aware of. And we need allies. But we have some things going for us. Pio is on our side, and we all trust Birdman will get him out of the situation he's in.
Yeah, for sure. 100% of the time. It works every time.
Exactly. We also have that axe, which
We do.
we could try to use it. If we could somehow get rid of the Tarask at the exact same time, that would give us an advantage. And if maybe we could convince... No, we can't convince any of their houses that getting rid of the Tarask is a good idea. That I don't think would happen. So that we have to
Maybe-
keep a secret.
I think that maybe should go on the back burner for killing the Tarask, because the last person that tried to go on the mission to kill the Tarask is now a pile of ash outside of my window. So I don't know how I feel about it. Honestly.
Well, it's a side thing, okay? It's not... It's more of if we can't get this hole just right, just in case.
Let's just look at the hole.
Well, yeah, I want to look at the hole. I'm always looking at the hole, but, sometimes you got to deal with the head first.
I see.
Hey, how did we get caught up in all of this shit anyway?
His name starts with A and ends with Tapar is a bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna blame him for all this. That sounds about right. I don't know about you guys, but I would not be dealing with any of this shit if he didn't have us find that baby Tarask.
What I do know is that we need to find him too.
Yeah, I can try. And I will send a message to Altapar. Sup, bitch boy? The fuck did you go to? I hear you're causing shit. Again.
I do not know where I am. Wait. I should thank you, I think, in some way. I am dead.
Oh shit.
Well, he doesn't know where he is, but he's dead.
All right.
Isn't that a problem?
I don't know. Depends. Birdman, do you need him for your case?
Well, I do need him for my case, actually. I need to find out what happened to him. I need PO. I need to speak privately with PO. I'll go figure that out.
Eros, roll me a history check.
Boom. 12.
Continue.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't feel like spending anything for that either.
I need to go find PO at some point.
I send another message to Altapar. What was the last thing you remembered about where you were?
City street. Running, falling, stumbling along. No hands to aid me in the fall. Helped up by a gorgeous drow. Leads me to an alleyway. Promises to tend my wounds.
Okay. I have an idea. This might work. Also might not. Quite possibly. Okay, I will cast Clairvoyance. And I am going to place it within one of the rooms that Eros was in when she was with the drow inside the 12th house. The sleeping rooms.
In the drow matron mother's
Yep.
keep,
Yep.
where you got the little spider friend.
Yep.
Okay. Um. 10 minutes. You can switch between scene. You waiting for anything in specific to happen?
I am just seeing if I can happen to be right in a guess that either I spot him or could possibly hear him.
Hear who?
Altapar.
Algebra. Oh, interesting. Okay. Something I didn't think about. You are unsure if he is there. He's not in that room in particular. For the clairvoyance task. Are you but you do see you do see Roxana being led into that room with a Nefertiri, and you're seeing this, what's going on. So they because you have to choose between seeing or hearing.
Yep.
And you she looks nervous. Roxana does. Nefertiri is gave her a change of clothes to wear for the ritual that you've seen in before. And there is yeah, that's probably the extent of what you see.
Okay. Then with her mental connection to Shallow, she'll message her. Hey, I just saw Roxana getting put back into one of those rooms in your matron's keep or whatever. Status report?
I will have to get back to you. I am not quite sure. Give me hopefully no more than an hour.
Hopefully that's how long this connection's about to last.
I will try to hurry then. Um she gets back barely in enough time. With like minutes to spare to you. I will have to come find you soon.
That's wait,
The-
sorry. I will let you continue, but this is a very important question. My psychic whisper says I just have to see them. Can I establish, based off of clairvoyance, a psychic connection to Roxana? Because I can see her.
There's not a feet distance on that. That's just interesting. Okay, yeah, sure.
I'll have to drop one of my other connections, so I'll drop my connection with Strike.
Makes sense.
Okay.
He's right there.
Exactly.
So shallow butter. I lost my train of thought.
So yeah, so you Shallow Butter was doing her thing. Investigating what happened.
Oh. Uh,
Damn,
well,
sucks.
she did not come here exactly by choice, as far as I understand. Uh, there, I should say. They are trying to cover bases. Um, I'm not sure if you've heard about Altapar and her connection kind of is wavering by this point.
Yeah, I've heard of Altapar. Had a little chat
Oh,
with him.
you had a chat with a dead man.
Yeah, something like that.
They are quite upset by this. His body was not properly ritualized for
Oh,
them to use
oh yeah, we
it.
made sure of that.
Um, so it is. She basically, you get the impression she's gonna go see Roxana. Uh, she has a couple of her guards that she's gonna have to send to find you. So know that there's probably someone watching you, and then she's gonna go to Roxana. Um, just to ensure, maybe. She's trying to prove some loyalty to you, I think, a little bit.
Okay. Then while she's doing that, Eros is gonna say to Roxana, "Hey, see you've gotten yourself into a bind again? What's going on?"
Nefertiri came and took me from the house. They said you would join me down below soon enough. I generally
Um,
get the impression she's not happy.
oh, she's not gonna be happy if I try and join now. I don't know if I need another, uh, I don't know if I need the energy to cast sending again, because I kind of used up all that I had to do so. And if I do need it, then she's gonna have to fucking wait, and she can lick my taint if she has a problem with that. I'll try to cover my bases as best as possible. Just hang tight. I mean, the worst that happens is you will get sucked off. Maybe convince them to make care halls get sucked off first.
His feet are too big, unfortunately.
God's fucking damn it! I knew I shouldn't have fucking trusted that Caribbean fucking barnacle son of a fuck cunt stain bitch shit tit ass fucker. Fuck! Maybe I should chop his feet off.
Um, maybe. But they're probably gonna make me try the ritual again. I don't know. I don't see the point by this, but
Listen,
something about the crystal being cracked after what you did. They're worried of its if this other step is gonna work. Uh,
well,
so you should
it's
probably get down here sooner rather than later. But
yeah, I'll try. I'll have to bullshit somehow about it. Yeah, don't try and attach yourself to it because I don't think it will attach to anyone else anymore. Uh, think
well, that's okay. As long as they don't know that, that's a good thing to know.
yeah, it'll probably kill you if you try to do that. So I'll be over. I'll be over.
Um, okay. She's very nervous. Like extremely fucking nervous.
Eros
Uh,
then claps her hands and now has to verbally say it because of strike. Okay, guys, I gotta go back to the 12th house to keep Roxana from being killed. From I am my services are needed to keep my friend alive. I
I
will.
would like the rest of you to roll an insight check, please.
Oh lord. We're kinda killing with the insight today.
Okay, it's a group check, so you all pass. It's a DC 20.
Damn.
Well done. Okay. Based upon previous conversations and mental connections and images that have been shown to you today, you all are worried if Eros goes there, what she may not return. Like you generally get the impression she did something important enough that the drow may not let her come back here again. They kind of did to show some sort of courtesy, but also to test her. And now that she's going to return, like there's that, but there's also if they figure out what she's done, what Eros thinks she's done of like actually bonding with this thing, they may kill her just to sever the bond so they can use it themselves at the same time. So you have issues. You don't think her going alone is a good idea.
No.
Eros is really good with people, but you don't think going alone is a good idea this time.
And that's exactly what Strike says. He looks straight into her eyes and says, if you're going, you're not going alone. And that is final.
Look, big guy. If you go with me, I'm not stopping you. But we're probably gonna have to kill a lot of drow to get the fuck out. If this worst comes to worst, then we're probably gonna cause an entire civil war in the city.
Just fine by me.
In hindsight, this is probably not the best thing to do, but Roxana's my friend. And I love my friends more than I love this city. So, honestly, few people die, few thousand, 100. I don't care. You know what? Fuck it. If we get out, we should leave the city. If this works, I'll let this city burn for all I fucking care. I'm honestly tired of it.
Mel probably glad has new real estate outside the city now.
In the back of our mind, just thinking, that was timely.
Everyone get an inspiration point.
Birdman? Mel?
I'm in, but I'm only in because I know that there's some shit going on. And whatever it is, I don't like it. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this and figure it out.
Birdman, before we go, you happen to know of any safe places for the kids? I really don't want to get them involved any further.
I have to look around. I'd have to look. I'd have to find a place. I don't really know one off the top of my head.
I'm working on something. If you really, really need to keep your kids safe, I know of somewhere they can stay temporarily.
Keep going.
Just outside the city, to the south. I've started something for me. But if you really just want to keep your children safe for the duration of this, then they can stay there temporarily. It's in no way made into a home yet. It's just a cavern, so they'll be camping. But I don't think anybody knows of it.
Honestly, anything will do.
That will do. We've all been used to caves and caverns, so you have my gratitude.
Let's make sure we can possibly get Setch and Cotton up on the loop of this.
That goes without saying, yes.
Yes.
Y'all can do that respectively. I have to go find a way to figure out how to not be a bird anymore.
Oh. Well, we have probably about, I'd say, an hour to 2 hours. Maybe more. I can only delay so much.
The longer you delay, the more pressure they're going to put on Roxana. And Roxana's a good performer, but she's not going to be able to do enough to prove to them in the long run that she can do the ritual. And they're probably just going to say, okay, it's a waste of time. We tried this. Get rid of the waste.
Once I go, we gotta go all out, all in on this bitch. And this city is not gonna be the same afterwards.
That's the
That's
understatement.